Nice, though. I like it, boy. Compared to Las Vegas.
What made you decide to come to Texas?
Well, you know, to tell you the truth, I started out here in Texas. I think the first shows that I worked was down here, man, around Houston.
Remember what
all over
locations
Texas.
you worked here in Texas?
Well, I worked Houston. I worked Corpus Christi. Every little town here, Longview, man, you name it, I've been there. You know, really, I've been all over Texas.
What do you think of Texas?
I like it. I like it.
Elvis, can you
Really
give
enjoy
us, I understand with all the big engagements like Las Vegas, etc., the reason why you selected the livestock show and rodeo this year?
Well, they asked me to do it, and I was anxious to do some live appearances. You know, it'd been a long time since I've been on stage in front of anybody live. And I was anxious to do some live appearances, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to get in front of the people.
Have you ever seen the inside of the dome before?
Never have. It scares them. It's a big place, man, you know.
You've been known in the past as the king of rock and roll. Do you think your style has changed now from the days that you were king, or do you consider that still your style?
Well, I think the overall thing has improved. The overall sound's improved, I mean. But I think it's according to the songs, you know. It's just according to the songs.
Is your stage presentation still the same way it was, or have you improved on that?
Well, I just do whatever I feel on stage, you know. As I always did that.
Are you going to keep making films?
I hope to. Well, I like to make better films than the kind I made before. Well, better than the ones I made before.
I mean, same genre, West Coast.
Excuse me, I can't take this fresh air, man. I'm used to the garbage can at the International Hotel, man. If I can't smell some garbage, I don't feel at home, man, I'll tell you.
Do you have any films in the making right now, or any plans?
No, there's nothing in, as far as I know, is there, Colonel? Anything in the workings?
I can't commit myself.
An 8mm Walt Disney special we're doing next year, I think. I don't know.
We're shooting some now, right?
There's nothing as far as I know, no.
When you look at your opportunity to go and try and fill up the Astrodome.
Well, it'll be the type of stuff that I do. It's a mixture of things, you know. It's a little rock and a little country western
Essentially
flavor.
the same show you do at the International Hotel?
Yeah, it's the same type of thing. A lot of different type of songs. So I just hope I can put on a good show, mainly.
What happened to the Jordanaires?
I can't get them out of Nashville, man. They got stuck in Nashville, and you know, they make so much money, and they do so well in Nashville. You can't get them out of there. You know.
Do you have any thoughts about the rising interest in country music?
I think it's fantastic. You see, country music was always a part of the influence on my type of music anyway. It's a combination of country music and gospel and rhythm and blues all combined is what it really was. As a child, I was influenced by all of that.
Do you consider yourself basically a country music singer?
I would hate to say strictly country because of the fact that I liked all different types of music when I was a child, you know. Of course, the Grand Ole Opry was the first thing I ever heard, probably. But I liked blues, and I liked the gospel music, gospel quartets and all that.
Do you ever pull out any of those old records from the Sun label and listen to them at all?
They sound funny, boy. They got a lot of echo on them, man, I'll tell you. But that's what I mean. I think the overall sound has improved today, you know.
Well, do you think there's more gimmicks today than there was, say, 15 years ago?
There's probably more gimmicks, but I think that the engineers have improved, and I think that the techniques have improved, the overall recording.
Consideration, a further reevaluation of your career to get you back in front of live audiences again? In other words, you were available to the public only in films.
Yeah.
For a long period of time.
Well, I think the most important thing is the inspiration that I got from a live audience. I was missing that. I didn't.
Was it rough at the International? Was it a little bit of a strain on you after not being out front of
It was always tough, but I enjoyed it. I enjoy it. Like I know I'm going to enjoy it here because it's live audience and it makes a world of difference.
Let me ask you one thing. What's your father up to?
He's around here somewhere. Ask him. I don't know. Daddy, what are you up to?
Skip the phone, will you?
Son coming to want to know
Mr. Presley,
Elvis,
I'd like
there's
to
evidence
meet
of
Mr. Elvis's father, Mr. Vernon Presley.
Could you come right in and sit down?
Vernon, don't sign nothing unless I check. I can't write. I never signed nothing.
It's just fresh air, man.
Elvis, there's quite an evidence of sartorial splendor. Does this indicate that the
What? What?
the attire is not one that we're familiar with seeing? you
It's
on?
it was taken from a karate suit, just a regular karate type outfit. Are they coming to get me? Is that it?
I mean, does this indicate that with your type dress and everything now that you're changing a little bit of style, perhaps in deference to what you did a few years ago?
I don't know. I think that you'd have to see the show. You know, it's difficult to tell. I don't feel any different. You know. I don't think the dress has that much to do with it. I got the idea from a karate suit because I studied karate for a long time, and I had to make up a couple of suits like it.
What do you do for relaxation? You said you study
Karate. If you can relax doing this, I don't know. No, I read a lot and go horseback riding and stuff like that.
Do you still live principally in
Memphis. About half the time. Yeah, half the time. Half the time in L.A.
In the show you have planned for the Dome, do you plan any of the old songs, some of the first ones?
I'd like to, you know,
Any special ones?
try to a couple of them, just to see if they work.
How big is your band with you, Elvis?
I got
Elvis, it's good to see you. I got
We're really
like
glad
it
to
out
have you
there.
down.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Ken.
Elvis, let me pin this on. This is your official badge. And we got another one. Didn't want to put your name on, not that people didn't know who you were, but we were afraid they'd be trying to take it off for a souvenir. We want to pin that on you. Mr. President, it's a real pleasure to have you down here with your son.
you, sir. Thank you.
We think we're going to set all kinds of records down here.
I hope so. I hope I can give them a good show. That's the most
I
important
guarantee
thing.
you will. No question about that. You sure will.
If I can give them a good show, then I feel like I've done something.
You will.
What's the
We know
biggest
about that.
live crowd you've ever performed for?
If I'm not mistaken, it was in Vancouver, Canada, wasn't it, Colonel?
Cotton Bowl.
In the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. It was about, I don't know, 25,000, I guess, something like that.
Is Mr. Gracie
I
here?
think.
Mr. Bear Grace. This is one of the men that started our livestock show.
Gentlemen,
One of
this
the
is
greatest.
Mr. Chris Caramanis, who was kind
sure,
enough
nice
to
to
take us
meet you.
down there
This
to
is Mr.
play.
Presley's son, Bear Grace.
I think he deserves a little recognition.
Poverty.
Well, I think so, if it's the right type of song. I think so, if it's the right type of material.
You made a couple of
But
songs.
yes, I have. I did, like, in the ghetto, and, I don't know. I wouldn't like to do all that type stuff, you know. Well, in other words, I wouldn't like for everything to be a message, because I think that there's still entertainment to be, you know, considered.
Given your fantastic performance of these 10 people now. To think, giving their talents and multiplying it, but what each of you out there can do. To think about what lies ahead. Each of you's got to look at service to his country the same way that the little kid in Sunday school responded when he was asked the easy question, the slow ball by the teacher. You know that final day in Sunday school when they show the kids off to the parents, you know? Came along and they said to this little kid, "Who made you?" He thought for a minute, and then he said, "I don't know. I'm not done yet." Thank you very much.
I would tonight like to propose to the USJCs and their friends and wives that the United States JCs at this time in this city commit itself as an organization to doing something for those people, black ones and white ones, for whom Dr. King worked, by establishing a United States JCs Memorial Fund for Dr. Martin Luther King, naming as trustees the 3 black elected city councilors in the city of Memphis to receive from black and white Memphians ideas, projects, proposals, and to select those deemed most in keeping with the aims and objectives.
Cancer is a painful and ugly disease that strikes as harshly at human dignity as it does at life itself. It has no respect for wealth or power or age or race. It kills more children under the age of 15 than any other disease, and killed more Americans last year than died in all of World War II. 6 times as many as have died in Southeast Asia. 6 times as many as die in automobile accidents. These are the facts. We all agree that a solution to the cancer problem would be a desirable thing. The more important question, however, is whether it is attainable.
As I stand before you, I believe I represent the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. I enthusiastically accept the challenge of working with all my strength and all my heart to further the values which are so beautifully expressed by the JC Creed. I pray that God will give me the courage to give of myself as the men and women who have given their lives in war to perpetuate the ideals we all hold sacred. May I never lose sight of the dream which sparkles in the eyes of our veterans who watch us so anxiously from the windows of our hospitals. Those men and women, young and old, black, red, yellow, white, rich and poor, have pointed the way.
It's been said that 19 of the past 21 civilizations since the birth of Christ have fallen. They've fallen suddenly, not with the sound of cannon or the unfurling of a foreign flag, but when death came, it was gradual, almost imperceptible, and it came from within. Now, America is about to celebrate its 200th birthday. And there are many who ask, is this same fate in store for our mighty nation? Well, the answer to that is up to us Americans. I personally believe that with the help of God, our nation will survive, will grow, and will flourish. But for that to happen, it's going to take the hard work and dedication of many Americans.
In accepting this award, I dedicate it to my God, who has shown me faith and life. I dedicate it to my country, a country which has provided me with opportunity. I dedicate it to my parents, parents who taught me understanding and courage. I dedicate it to my wife and children, who have shown me love and patience unmeasured. I dedicate it to my many associates who have given me loyalty and shared a dream. Finally, I dedicate it to yet another day, and that's time. Time for you and me to make our communities, our states, this nation and world free from war and full of love, absence of poverty and prevalent with plenty, free from disease and cures for all.
You are here this evening to honor some young men for what they have done. I am not sure that what I have done merits this tribute, particularly when I consider the marvelous and positive accomplishments of my fellow honorees, and even more so when one considers that men such as Dr. Tom Dooley, Gus Grissom, and John Kennedy have stood in this place. I know that I shall leave Memphis with the firm determination that my future goals shall be to work for broader and higher objectives for my community and country.
For me, of course, there is a special satisfaction in recalling the story of a freshman congressman from California who stood before this same awards congress 23 years ago here in Tennessee, Richard Nixon. And in talking to the president about coming to Memphis, I asked him what the award meant to him. He spoke of the vivid memories and the tremendous lift and encouragement which the recognition had given him. He said he returned to Washington for the second session of the 80th Congress with a feeling of satisfaction, but most of all with a feeling of determination to do justice to the ideals of this award. You know, I believe that youth is the lifeblood of the American spirit, with its idealism and patience and imagination. But the future belongs not to youth alone. It belongs to every American who has a dream to fulfill.
I've seen love and respect. In our volunteers who have worked and sacrificed, I have seen the same message. But I am a failure in so many ways because we are not winning that war on apathy in this nation. The very city that I come from, Hartford, Connecticut, you read about it every summer because of riots. And the reason is, it isn't poverty in America that stifles us all. It's a poverty of purpose, a lack of the tapping of the national will. And I ask the JCs to make the most important day of this conference tomorrow, whereby they go back into their communities and become major opinion makers, and where we try to rally the American people together in acts of volunteerism in this nation of ours.
In a society where so much of our energy is devoted to movement and acquisition, we all still prize most highly the opportunity for personal interaction, to share our ideas and dreams, and occasionally to even share our foolishness together. We all long to feel ourselves as part of a higher community. We will not fulfill this longing unless we are willing to examine and re-examine our own motivations and be flexible in our responses.
Elvis Aaron Presley, 35, musician, entertainer, Memphis, Tennessee. The success of Presley is a phenomenon of the entertainment world. He is one of the most well-known and prolific entertainers in the nation. 51 of his single records have won gold record awards for sales of more than 1 million records. Unlike other entertainers, he has intentionally concealed many acts of philanthropy which might have brought him considerable publicity.
I read comic books and I was the hero of the comic book. I saw movies and I was the hero in the movie. So every dream that I ever dreamed has come true 100 times. And these gentlemen over here, you see these type of people who care, who are dedicated, you realize that it's not possible that they might be building the kingdom of heaven. It's not too far-fetched in reality. I'd like to say that I learned very early in life that without a song, the day would never end. Without a song, a man ain't got a friend. Without a song, the road would never bend. Without a song. So I'll keep singing a song. Good night. Thank you.
USJC President Thomas brings the Congress to a most meaningful conclusion.
As we come to this, the conclusion, the 33rd such event honoring America's 10 outstanding young men, I wonder what the next 30 years will hold in store for this observance. Will we continue to have men of the caliber we have seen here tonight? Indeed, what will be considered outstanding in the years to come? I can't predict the future, but I'm hoping there will be many future Taderos and Capecchis who will involve themselves in the war against disease. I hope we will never run out of men like Atkins and Cole, men dedicated to social justice. We need more men of integrity like Ron Ziegler and more entrepreneurs like Wendell Cherry. We will always need men like Buka and Human who are committed to our nation's success, and men like Getz and Presley who are products of that success. Speaking as an American, let me say that our country will always need men of excellence, for our nation's young men are the only hope in a changing world. Ladies and gentlemen, you have seen and witnessed that hope.
With that one piece, one long...
Which made him? Where'd you know?
Well, he came to Memphis to sing with a group called the Blackwood Brothers. It was the first time that I'd ever seen him.
How did you run into him this time? Just in Vegas?
I just realized that they were available. And he'd formed a new quartet called the Stamps. And I listened to some of the records, and they had all this power. I liked it.
He made the Stamps. He brought them together.
He put them together.
One of his nephew, and one's his son-in-law. The other two, I don't know where they came from.
But each one of the guys individually are good, as you can see.
I've noticed.
They all have beautiful
See, we come from a different background. We come from the Middle West or from the West Coast.
You don't hear this too much.
So we don't hear this. So we see a bunch of guys, and it has a whole different kind of level of meaning to us because it's just not part of our background.
Right.
But like everybody comes from the same background, or is that's as much to you guys as it is to a kid in California growing up and surfing or Little League baseball.
It's kind of like roots.
We grew up with it, you know, from the time I can remember, like 2 years old. I grew up with this because my folks took me there. And then, when I got old enough, I started to sing in church. And
That's how you got into singing?
Well, it's one of the ways.
One of the ways.
You know, yeah. But I liked all type of music. You know, when I was in high school, I had records by Mario Lanza and the Metropolitan Opera. I loved music. The Spanish, I like the Mexican flavored songs.
But this is so
music
different.
But this thing here, the gospel thing is just. Excuse me. The gospel is really what we grew up with, you know, more than anything else.
It shows in the music too, because there's a kind of if you've seen Baptist choirs, there's a kind of intensity about it. And it's the same kind of intensity, electricity that you have on stage. And there
It
seems
comes
to be
out
that
almost every song.
It's a kind of a soul.
Like a
it comes from way deep
fantastic strength
inside.
that's inside. Yeah.
It just isn't singing notes. It's singing something that seems to come from very deep inside of you.
And at certain times you push out and pull in. Just a part of you, you don't really think about it.
When I was in France about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was doing a film on Jean-Claude Keely, and I asked him just offhand who was his favorite singer, and he said, Elvis Presley. He's my man.
Oh, really?
He's my man. He said,
well, he's my favorite skier.
And I asked him why.
That's nice. Thank you.
He said, but he did this whole thing. He says he has soul. You know, it's hard for an American to talk to a Frenchman and understand that he understands soul better than you do. But he really does. He says he sings, from in here. And that was his way of describing. He had a very limited English at the time.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Joe, you gonna pick up the music?
No, but this.
Can I wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is very.
All right, boys, put it away.
This is very basic. When we get through with our work, what we have to do, we usually wind up doing this.
And you're doing it because you want to do it?
We do it because we want to do it.
In Las Vegas, after he's done 2 shows, everybody's tired. They're up in the suite singing all night till like 6, 7 in the morning.
We'll do 2 shows a lot of times, and we'll go upstairs and sing until daylight. Gospel songs.
How do you do it? How do you?
Not too often. When you're working every night there.
I mean, what does it do for you? I mean, to get into this, is it like
I think it more or less puts your mind at ease. It does mine. Because you've been really concentrating and everybody's been working out. So these things we know.
It's like old friends.
Right. And it puts your mind at ease.
It takes you down and just levels
takes you
things
down
off.
to a level. Otherwise, you'd go out of here and you couldn't sleep for, There's nothing wrong with it, but if you ended on a real fast up-tempo song or something, we leave the studio, nobody can sleep for hours.
You're right, though. When you leave the stage like a place like Vegas, you're really up. You're really, really flying.
It takes at least 4 or 5 hours to even begin to unwind. And we usually wind up, doing this type of stuff.
Where have you found the guys? I mean, we know about J.D., but like the other guys who are in the chorus, it seems like you've known them forever, just watching you around the piano and singing, like you're like real super old friends from a long, long time.
Well, like I said, I knew J.D. from back when I was 15 years old, when he first came to Memphis to sing with a group called the Blackwood Brothers. And I was a big gospel music fan, so they would sing all night. And I would stay there all night, And he had formed this new group himself a couple of years ago. And I just heard their records and put them together with the inspirations and everything else that we had.
Looked in the gutter in there.
Looked in the gutter, man, and dug them out.
And all of that's going on the stage. It's really.
But then when you put it all together,
it seems to be a kind of like a relationship going on stage. It's like everybody is a friend of everybody else on stage. And that's something very rare, because we've seen a lot of groups perform and don't get that kind of feeling.
Well, I think it's because we enjoy it, and we constantly enjoy it, which means that we do 2 shows a night for 5 weeks, but we never let it get old. Every song is like we do it for the first time, and that's one of the secrets,
Well, like it's not a planned thing. You don't do the same songs, the same sequence.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
we can change them around, but even if we do the same songs,
it's not the.
They're new, and the sound is the feeling is there every time.
But it's a different feeling each time, right?
It's a good feeling. We never let it down, because there's a new audience out there. Plus, we enjoy what we're doing.
Well, Elvis communicates with us, really. I mean, you really do from the stage. I've sung with a lot of people, but he has some way of of keeping you interested and communicating, between you and him. And,
I'm not going to tell you how at times.
You aren't going to tell us the secrets? Well, hell, we'll get out.
Things that go on behind my back and things. No. But we will, we'll keep it interested, or interesting somehow,
Hope it's more interesting. 5 weeks, man.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
At the end of the 5 weeks, it was, it went by like that, and it seemed like a day.
Well, see, I don't know. For instance, this evening, I know you were running just through everything just for us, for the cameras, what have you. Which would seem like if you did the reverse on us and said, well, guys, just walk around with your cameras like you normally do in the concert, it would be a drag to us because it would be hard for us to get up to that level. But what's hard for us to figure out is that you can turn it on here just like you do on the stage.
Well, you know what? What's interesting about music and about all the people here, they find new sounds, and they do things differently themselves. So it's like a new experience every day. The guy on the guitar will find a new lick, or the guy on the piano will find something, or the voices will add something, And I hear all this, and it inspires me.
Because we watch, it's new for us. We're watching things like you and the lead guitarist kind of looking, the looks that go back and forth, and we're lining up shots. There's really something going on, some sort of magic. We know already the game that goes on with Charlie Hodges and the kidding, the back and forth, and that's part of it too. So there's a kind of thing going on there. There's something going on there. I notice when your eye goes over to JD when the chorus comes in, each one of them is like a little turn on. It's like a conversation that goes on each one, but there's surprises.
It's like
in
a feedback.
It's a back and forth, and you're turning each other on.
Well, that's what I mean. It never ceases. It goes on.
And that's what we're looking for in the film. That's what the film has to explore totally. It's that whole electricity, that's just kind of circulating back and forth.
I hope you find it.
Hey, it's not. Well, we had to tell you, we looked and it wasn't there.
Thanks.
So we're wrapping. Hey, let's call it a night.
Got to rest up for the road.
Got a big
jump from here to
Buffalo or wherever.
Off to Buffalo.
This is a tour I usually lose about 2 inches, not in here, but in here. To hang by my hands for about 2 weeks to get it back.
Yes. All one-night stands too.
Yeah. But that's fun. See, it's excitement.
Got to figure out how to get a piano in each room for these guys to sing after the show.
Oh, let's go home, everybody.
I think so. Enjoyed it, fellas.
How's it going?
This is the only beginning of I think, a really enjoyable experience.
Thank you. We'll do our best.
I know you will. We'll try and do ours. Now, you're supposed to say, I know you will. See, and then we're all cool.
No comment. We're even.
Good night.
Elvis hadn't appeared in New York City since his early television days in the late 50s. Colonel Tom Parker booked Madison Square Garden, and it was the next stop on his tour. Elvis, looking great, was ready for the New York press corps.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Vernon Presley, Elvis Presley's father. Mr. Presley has a friend coming out. Sit down. First of all, I plead innocent of all charges. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, dear. Love you too. Thank you. I don't know.
Okay. I think it was a matter of not getting the building, the proper building. We had to wait our turn in order to get the building. Couldn't get a good building in 15 years. No, all kidding aside, we had to wait our turn to get into the garden, you know. Oh, I like it. You know, I enjoy it. I just hope we put on a good show for everybody.
Mr. Presley,
Yes.
why do you think you've outlasted every other entertainer from the 50s and, for that matter, the 60s as well?
I take vitamin E. I was only kidding. I don't know. I just embarrassed myself. I don't know, dear. I enjoy the business. I like
Presley,
it.
I hear from a lot of people in the press corps that you really are a shy, humble, wonderful human being. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I don't know what makes them think that. You know, this gold belt and... No, that's it.
Mr. Presley, while you're up, don't change that position for a minute.
What are you doing, woman?
I'm reminded of the Ed Sullivan shows where they wouldn't shoot.
So am I. That's why I'm sitting down.
It looks like you no longer have grease in your hair.
No, I stopped using that greasy kid stuff, too. Just like everybody else did, man.
You criticize so much for your long hair and your gyrations, and you seem so modest now.
Man, I was tame compared to what they do now. Are you kidding? I didn't do anything. We just jiggle, you know. Yeah.
How do you feel about the way performers act on stage now compared to what you used to do and get criticized for?
Oh, I don't know. I really can't criticize anybody, in the entertainment field. I think there's room for everybody, and I hate to criticize another performer.
Are you satisfied with the image you've established?
Well, the image is one thing, and a human being is another, you know. So.
How close does it come? How close does the image come to the man?
It's very hard to live up to an image. I'll put it that way. It's according to what you're talking about. No, I don't know. I'd like to think so.
What kind of audiences do you find you attract now?
I beg your pardon?
What kind of audiences do you find you attract now?
Well, I found that in the audiences that we have, it's mixed. It's older people, younger people, and the very young, and all types of people, you know, which is good. Hunt. No, I just made a movie of the last tour that I did. It's the first live concert that we ever filmed, so that's my next project. It's coming out.
Elvis, what made you finally decide to come out of seclusion and start making public appearances again?
I just missed it. I missed the closeness of an audience, of a live audience. So just as soon as I got out of the movie contracts, I started to do live performances again. I think so. Because I'm sorry. There's so many places that I haven't been yet. I've never played New York here. You know. I've never been to Britain either. You know. I'd like to, yes, sir. I'd like to very much. I'd like to go to Europe. I'd like to go to Japan and all those places. I've never been out of this country except in the service. You know.
Oh, Mr. Presley, on the subject of this service, what is your opinion of war protesters, and would you today refuse to be drafted?
Honey, I just seem to keep my own personal views about that to myself, because I'm just an entertainer, and I'd rather not say.
Do you think other entertainers should keep their views to themselves too?
No, I can't even say that. I beg your pardon? I might.
recording. You were allowed to what, dear? I don't know. That's a good question. Why is that, Colonel? She said, why could they film the concert in Boston? They couldn't film it here. There you go. Yes. Yes. I just don't feel that it's time yet. You know, maybe I will someday, but not right now.
Elvis, does your return to New York herald the return of big David?
Who's talking? The camera? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. What'd you say?
Do you think that your return signals the start of the return of big David?
I don't know. I didn't know they ever stopped. Did they? None of that. Talking under the table. Okay. No, sir. I don't have any other aspirations in politics or anything of that nature. Oh yeah, I'd like to do something in the way of a movie script, if I can find the right kind of property. In fact, we're looking for it now. You're talking about a non-singing type thing. Yes, I'd like to do that. Okay.
Why is it that you got away from the hard rock? You really don't do that hard rock.
It's very difficult to find that type of song. It's hard to find good material nowadays, you know, for everybody, for all of us, you know.
You don't record hard rock.
It's very difficult to find any good hard rock songs. If I could find them, I would do them, you know. Believe me. I don't know. There's a lot of people that I like. I got out of that one, didn't I? Uh-huh.
Do you plan to, or are you now campaigning for, or helping to raise campaign funds for any presidential campaign?
No, sir, I'm not. I'm not involved in that at all. I'm just an entertainer.
Elvis, what do you miss most about the passing of the 50s?
I don't really miss it much about it. I enjoy it just as much now, if not more, than I did then. I more than I did then. I would like to think that we've improved ourselves over the past 15 years.
How about musically?
That's what I mean. I mean musically and vocally and everything. I like to think that I've improved over the past 15 years. Yeah, I'd love to go there. Yeah.
You get fed up with people recognizing you and asking for autographs?
No, I got used to it. I would kind of miss it if it didn't happen, you know. If nobody saw me or if nobody recognized me or whatever, or asked for an autograph, to me it's just part of the business, and I accept it. I think I would miss it.
Will there be a recording of this concert?
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. They have R.C. Victor's officials here, so I don't know. Yes, sir. It's Now or Never. O Sole Mio. That one, Oh So Emil, was the largest selling, and the next one too was Don't Be Cruel, I think, in Hound Dog. Heartburn Motel, whatever. I came in last night very late. I had to go to bed because we're having a rehearsal now, and then I go back to rehearsal after this press conference. Unless you got something better in mind. No, she's not. I don't think so. I think that there's so many companies, you know, everybody becomes independent. Once they have one hit record, they form their own company. And then there's so many. And also the people who write them are starting to record their own songs. And that's why I say it's very difficult to get good material. Yeah. Yes, I'm in a publishing firm, but I'll take songs from anywhere, you know, or from anybody if they're good. It doesn't have to be in my company. It could be just completely an unknown person, and just anybody that writes a song. If they can get it to me, if it's good, I'll do it. Well, probably so. Probably so. And being honest, I would have to say yeah. Honey, I'm really not aware of this particular suit that you're talking about, so I can't answer you accurately, you know. I don't even know the details about it. I went to Hawaii to get a tan for New York, so I'm not aware of it, really. I don't think so. If they're not heard, if they got good material, if they're good songwriters, I think they should be heard. Yes, definitely. I really can't sit them down. No, I can't do that. I just shouldn't save it for the show.
Mr. Presley, what do you think of women?
Thank you.
What do you think of women's liberation?
Well, you know, watching is right. You know,
Would it be a nice
on social comments like that, yeah, I just try not to make a comment.
Some of you people that had all these pictures, would you be nice to step aside and let these others take a few pictures? Please, step aside, please. Let's all back up. I'll give them all a chance, please. Come on up with the cameras. Come on, let's give these guys a break. Come on, step aside, will you, please? All of you. You all have plenty of pictures.
The belt is
Come on, bring your cameras over here.
The belt is an award from the
fellas a chance. Come on through here.
Senator Colonel gets to talk
Come on
about
through
that.
here.
The belt is an award from the International for the attendance record, championship attendance record. It's like a trophy, but I wear it around, you know, just to show off.
Is it your father? Can we talk to your father?
Will I talk to my father?
Can I
have to. He handles all my personal affairs.
Can we ask him a question? Can we ask your father a question?
Oh, sure.
The other Mr. Presley. At what point did you realize that your son was more than your son and now a very, very famous person?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. You know, it happened so fast, it's hard to keep up with it, you know. It just boom, overnight, and there it was. So I'd say maybe Probably 1956, the first television show.
Do you have any regrets?
I tried to tell him sooner, but he wouldn't listen.
No, I have no regrets of it. In fact, I have enjoyed it, really.
Well, all kidding aside, it happened very fast to all of us, my mother and my father and all of us. Everything happened overnight, and so we had to adjust to a lot of things very quickly. A lot of good things.
Senior, after Elvis got famous, do you think he changed in any way at all? Or?
No, not really. I can't tell if he changed it.
I sweat more. Yes. No, it's a conscious thing that I like to mix them up. In other words, I like to do a song like Bridge Over Troubled Water or American Trilogy or something. Then mix it up and do some rock and roll, some of the hard rock stuff. No. I'm not the least bit ashamed of Hound Dog or Heartbreak Hotel or whatever those things were again. Not really. No, I've got too much energy. I don't think so. Not as long as I can. I think they're planning one now. They're talking about one now. Any new what, sir? I can't. There's a lot of them. I can't think of any right offhand.
I like to live up to my reputation of being a nice guy. This is it, folks.
Beautiful, baby.
I've got to go back to rehearsal, folks. Thank you very much. I'm on stage.
South Vietnam. The Armed Forces Network will pick it up. The Armed Forces have
This is the first time that I've seen this myself.
This is just the start of this.
Please. I beg your pardon? Yeah. Okay.
And I really should start this conference off by congratulating Elvis, because we will have two new firsts. The first involves Elvis as the first performer to do a worldwide live concert via satellite. Real spectacular. And the second is that we will have a worldwide album via satellite. All of this has been made possible by the joint efforts of a lot of people, and especially including Colonel Tom Parker. Elvis, again, my congratulations for this spectacular.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's very hard to comprehend it because in 15 years it's hard to comprehend that happening. You know, to all the countries all over the world via satellite. It's very difficult to comprehend. A live concert, to me, is exciting because of all the electricity that's generated in the crowd and on stage. But it's my favorite part of the business, is a live concert.
How do you pace yourself?
Sir?
How do you pace yourself?
You mean physically, vocally, or?
So you are up when you need to be up.
I just, I exercise every day. I vocalize every day. You know, I practice if I'm working or not. You know. So I just try to stay in shape all the time. Vocally and mentally. And
Which is harder?
Well, both is tough, you know. You got to work at them, but I don't mind it, you know. It's worth it.
I must say this about when we first approached the various countries around the world, Elvis is certainly the only performer that could do this today. He is well known in every country that we have taught, in fact, in every country in the world, and the acceptance was just fantastic. It wasn't a case of any selling, because, you know, he's been in demand for live performances around the world, but you just can't do this, so this is the way of approaching it. But the acceptance exceeded all of our expectations, Elvis.
Thank you very much. That's very nice, sir. I'll probably stick to English mostly. I've done some songs in Spanish and Italian, German, and different things like that. So I don't know, you know. Yeah. Listen. I'd just like to say before anything else that it's a great privilege to do this satellite program, and I'm going to do my best, and all the people that work with me, to do a good show, which is pure, you know, entertainment. No messages and no this and that. Just try to make people happy for that 1 hour that it comes across. If we do that, well, then I think I've done a job.
Little cubby, huh? That's all right.
Okay, everybody, we're rolling and we're recording. Now, get the arms going. There we go. Wave some arms over there, gang. Welcome them in. Yeah, come on, you can do better than that. Come on, the crowd over here on the beach. We're shooting you too. Wave your arms for us. There you go. We got you on camera. We're way up there. Lord, come on. Really, let go of breaks from the toes.
I feel faint.
It's all right. You can be hit back here.
We better have another rehearsal. Rest time.
This is still an opportunity. What? Yeah, it should be close to the fence.
You can travel here and there, you can travel everywhere, but there's no place like Hawaii. It has everything and more than you've ever seen before. Oh, there's no place like Hawaii. There's a saying, oh, but very true. When you leave, Hawaii goes with you. Oh, what beauty you will see, and what hospitality. Oh, there's no place like Hawaii. Oh, what beauty you will see, and what hospitality. Oh, there's no place like Hawaii. Oh, there's no place like Hawaii. Shaka! Hawaii! Ike o uana, ikrani a o hilo, ikulu behi behi, o ka lehua, lehi ho hohi i e aka malehini, re o le kikono, a ke aloha. Maya ulelua, e ike ahi, mahi ehi e la unga ole, ia le male, ale akala, a o maui no e ka oi. Molokai umalike no alike la me ku o nau, ke popo ke le piko na kuivi. Mai Molokai nui a ina i ka bebehi, e ho I no wau e pili. Wai, mai kai wale no kauai, he malele wale I ka wali e kui bila ni wai ale ale, ia ni ka hoki hana. Wow!
Thanks, guys.
What's his name, anyways? Really?
Right here. Okay, Bobby, come. 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 Red. Okay. Okay, anytime. Give it going. Give it going. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That was, thanks. Okay, keep it going, girl. This way. Bobby, stop. 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 Bobby, come this way, please. Gentlemen, that way. This way. This way, Bobby. That way. Okay, Bobby. Please, pick up.
Elvis, you got a lot of people here want to give you lays and say hello to you. This is the biggest one since the last day.
Okay.
Thanks, Elvis. Go, Robert. Come on.
Can I have one too?
How much you need to get outside the fence? This way, Albert. Straight to the sun, Bob. Back up. Bobby, yes, stop. Okay. Charlie? Charlie? That's it. That's hand. Colonel? Step out of sight, Dick. Which way? Lead him. Back up, guys. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Let's get him through. Back up, please. Forward. Can we let our cameras through? Okay. Let's go. Bobby, stop. Whoa! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait a minute, Bobby. Bobby! We'll do a pin here.
Please don't lose it. Elvis?
360. 360. Come on, honey. Get out. Ready, please. This way, this way. Get the power in the fingers. Hold it. Hold 1 second. Hold. Don't drive. Don't drive. Bobby, get him. Excuse me. Okay, Bobby, come this way. Bob, back up. Okay, Bobby, slowly and don't stop. Very slow. Watch your toes. Ugly bugger, that guy, huh? Really? What the chicks like him? I don't know. Really, I'm better looking than him, huh? Now,